Hey, Brenton, thank you for your time today. Appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you just describe to us what makes Coach Yursich unique? What makes his offense unique? What do you like about it?
The thing that I like most about the offense is its up tempo. I mean, I don't think a lot of defenses want to just run the whole entire game, and that's what we do. We're up tempo, fast, get the defense on its heels, and create explosive plays. That's what I like the most about it.
Roger Slater?
Brenton, what's this offseason been like for you with Coach Bowen leaving, taking on Coach Howell? How did you kind of find out Coach Bowen was leaving, and what do you like about Coach Howell?
I was happy for Coach Bowen and his new job down in Jacksonville. But honestly, with Ty, it wasn't really a big change because I'd been around Ty a lot from him being on the staff previously. Like, we knew each other very well, and everybody kind of meshed. So it wasn't really a change at all.
Mark Brennan?
Brenton, what can you tell us about Taquan Roberson? You've seen a lot of them. We haven't seen a lot of them. You came in with them, I think. So what's a little scouting report for us? Thank you.
Yeah, so me and Taquan came in together. I think he's a great quarterback. Good decision maker, very good arm. I think he has everything he needs to be successful.
Ben Jones?
Brenton, I'm curious, as the tight end position gets more and more athletic, do you feel like a lineman that can catch or a receiver that can block well?
Honestly, I always, even out of high school, I felt like a receiver that can block really well, a hard-nosed receiver that can block very well.
Tobias Wilborn?
I mean, obviously, nobody's expecting any one person to replace Pat Freiermuth. But what does it mean for you to have the opportunity to possibly be a leader in this group and see your production potentially increase?
Like I said last year, when Pat went down, I mean, it's an opportunity that presents itself, and I'm happy to get that chance. And like I said, I'm going to keep getting better. That's what I've been doing all offseason, getting better to fill those shoes. So.
John Sauber?
What was the most important thing you learned from Pat about playing tight end in your 2 years on campus with him?
The thing that I took from Pat that I think that he does very well is his preparation. What he does before the games, how he studies, how he looks at the games, how he knows football in general. That's probably the best thing I took from Pat.
Donnie Cole.
Hey, Brenton, how do you think you developed as a blocker through last season? And same with Theo. It looked like he was a much better blocker at the end of the season than maybe he was in the beginning.
Yeah, I think me and Theo did a great job coming in and blocking, doing what we had to do for our role. I think honestly that us developing as blockers became with how when Pat went down, and just us being students of the game and listening to some stuff that he has to say. And, yeah.
T-Frank?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I apologize. I got in a little late, but I just want to ask, without giving up any of the secret sauce, how different is your role in the offense this year as opposed to last year? And is there anything you're excited for in particular that you might be doing this year?
So last year, I really wasn't expecting to be the guy to come in and maybe get all the receiving stats, but this year it's a lot different. I have the opportunity to be the receiving guy and the guy that blocks, so I'm very excited for that. Like I said, the opportunity's presented itself, and I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Daniel Gallen.
Hey, Brenton. How did you have to prepare for this season differently? Knowing that it's going to be a new offense, did you have to tailor any of your off-season work to the new system? How did you kind of approach all of that?
I kind of had to approach it with a different mindset. I had to relearn everything with the new offense. So just being a student of the game, really.
Mark Brennan.
Brenton, Jake Pinniger was on earlier and said guys are ticked off over the way last season went. How much of a motivator is having, as a team, kind of a disappointing season like that going into spring ball? Thank you.
As someone that hates to lose, that's definitely a motivator. Every day in the weight room, you would go in the weight room and we would see 0-5 on the board. So I mean, if that doesn't motivate you to come out, try to get better every day.
David Edgar.
Yeah, hi, Brenton. I guess, kind of piggybacking off of that, I mean, are there any other ways that you've seen, that sense of maybe a little bit of anger over how last season went kind of manifest itself, maybe in the start of spring practice here?
Brenton, we're having trouble hearing you. Can you repeat your answer?
Did you get that last question?
I didn't hear your response, Brenton. Sorry.
I said it's the little things. I think some of the guys who just missed out on the little things last year. It's the little details that really matter, and I think that's what we aren't going to miss out on this year, and I think that's what's going to make the difference.
Rich Darcello.
Brenton, along those lines, have you seen anything different from Sean Clifford, whether it was in winter workouts or just this first week of spring practice? And what do you expect from him going forward this season?
Sean's a great quarterback. I expect him to play good like he always does. He knows what he can do and he knows his potential, so I expect him to do that.
Ronnie Collins.
Brenton, with those little things you were talking about earlier, how much does having a spring practice help with those? And is there a way to quantify how much not having spring practice may have hurt you guys going into the season?
Last year, I think it hurt a lot. I mean, especially having a new offense this year, it helps a lot because we come in and we get those 15 practices and we get to learn about those little details and say a route that is on a play that we wouldn't have learned in spring ball last year. So I definitely believe that these 15 practices are going to benefit us in many ways.
Roger Snyder.
Brenton, I just want to go back to Mark's question a few questions ago about I think you said 0-5 is like plastered in the weight room or something. What is it? What does it look like? Or maybe I misheard you.
It's a whiteboard, and it said 0-5 on the board for a while when we were going through our winter workouts and our lifting. So,
Mark Brennan.
Brenton, we obviously saw you and Theo last year. What can you tell us about Tyler Warren? He's another guy that we really haven't seen a lot of.
Yeah, Tyler Warren's another great player. He's been making a lot of plays so far in spring ball this year, and I expect a lot of things out of him.
T. Frank.
Hey, Brenton, as a receiver that can block really well, how important or how much do you think about making plays with the ball in your hands?
Can you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. as a guy who is self-described as a receiver who can block really well, how much do you think about making plays with the ball in your hands after the catch?
I think about it a lot. Honestly, that's a part of my game that I want to work on a lot. Last year, I felt like I caught a couple balls. I could have made some plays, but I didn't at the time, and that's something that I'm going to work on, and I expect my game to be better after the catch this year.